you are planning to get a certificate, make sure that you are filling out the form. I have a form, secretary has a form, department chair has a form, almost everybody has a form. And if you go to the register office, they have a form too. So you could get a
I'm
form
dying to give it to somebody.
and fill it out, and that's it, okay? Okay, guys, we are continuing our discussion about animation, because we want to talk to you another subject, tuning animation. But I just want to say that these two methods, if you are compiling this program, you're going to get a kind of warning about get drawable is deprecated, okay? But there is no substitution for what should be used, okay? So totally ignore that warning until Google suggests the substitution. We know that we are getting deprecation here, okay? So don't send me email, Abbas, you got the deprecation. I know that. This get drawable is deprecated, okay?
Oh, I found here.
What?
I found here what they supposed to.
You found it?
Yeah. I have just to look for it. Yeah.
So, still it's gonna work with no problem, but I'm gonna find how to fix it for you. Okay guys, let's continue our discussion about the rest of this story. We are getting to very good stuff now. Okay, let's continue this, right? Okay.
They say now I have to choose the context compact. Complex compact dot get drawable.
Oh, so it's another place.
Yeah. But I'll figure it out and do later.
Okay. Now we want to talk about tuning animation. Okay, totally different stuff. Can I draw the board? Can I delete the board and put some stuff up to the board? Or I need to put a lot of stuff. Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. Okay. So we want to talk about tuning animation.
I understand all he's saying. So it's just a matter of what files to put the stuff into.
Okay, let's talk about it. First of all, as I mentioned, tuning animation is nothing to do with frame by frame or something like that. Tuning animation involves with changing a color, resizing your object, relocating your object, rotating your object, and stuff like that. Okay. So let me list them for you what we are doing in tuning animation. So the title is tuning animation. Okay. Involves with rotate animation. We call it rotate animation. To rotate the view. Okay. When we are rotating the view actually around the specific axis, rotate around y-axis, x-axis, or we are rotating around the specific pivot point. Pivot point, okay? Pivot point, you select a specific point that you want to rotate around that. Okay? Column. So these are our options when we are rotating, and we learn about all of them. Okay. The other one is scale animation. Okay. This is rotate animation. Scale animation. To make a view smaller or larger. Okay. To make a view smaller or larger on x-axis or y-axis or both. Okay. Also, we are able to specify the specific pivot and do enlargement or opposite of it around that pivot. Okay, following. For example, you have a face and you want to enlarge the nose, right? So your pivot point is here, right? And alpha animation. Alpha animation is used to change the opacity. Do you know what opacity means? Transparency. Okay. Let's use transparency. Maybe some of you are not familiar with that word. Used to change the transparency of a view. Okay. For example, you are able to change the color of the view in order to from being very visible to slowly becoming invisible, right? Or vice versa. This is a very nice effect that we are using in some animation. Your view would be fade in or fade out, right? So these are all different type of animation that we are able to do. Okay? Very, very useful. We could do all of these 20 animations in XML only, or we are able to do them in Java. Okay? I'm going to show you how to do both in XML as well as in Java. Okay?
I'll see the difference.
First of all, let's talk about how to do it in XML. Normally, I start using XML. And after that, talk about how to do it in Java. Okay? So let's talk about using XML. I need to clean a board.
I'll give up Android and go into Notepad and see if I can type his
For
notes
each
and
of
get it to
these
work. It
animations,
should work
we
somehow.
are creating its own separate XML file. Okay? XML for this, for this, for this. Okay?
Oh, I see, but I wouldn't be able to bind it up and stick it on my tablet to even see if it works. All right. We'll get there. Thank you for showing me that stuff.
Okay.
I'll
Let's do this.
try to do it.
Now, I said for each one of these kind of animation, you need to make your XML. Where you're gonna put your XML? You're gonna put in, again, the same folder that we discussed before the break. Okay? In Ani. Okay? So you're gonna make your XML file and put it there. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make alpha.xml. Okay? For alpha. I'm going to make rotate dot XML. I'm going to use scale dot XML. And I'm going to use translate dot XML. Okay? Fair? So let's see how these XML files can be created. Okay?
Okay. I had more fun the first one. But I can't touch this until I get the other done.
First of all, the very first thing we do is we need to have our own layout XML file too, right? So let's make the layout XML file. After that, make one by one of these, and after that, put them together and write the application. I'm going to use relative layout. Relative layout.
I guess he's reviewed his videos.
Okay. whatever it is, matter. Image view. Whenever you're working with animation, you need to work on a specific image, right? Let's say you want to work on the face of somebody, stuff like that. So to make the job easier, I'm going to pick one of those faces that I made. Let's say face 4, face 4 dot PNG, okay? And we're going to work on that face, okay? So let's do that. We're going to move it, we're going to enlarge it, we're going to rotate it and stuff like that, right? Okay. So
TI-99
that was I'm going to use image view for that. Okay?
That's where I started on its sprites.
Android colon ID. Equal
10 years before PCs,
and plus ID.
they were trying to figure out how to get this shit to work.
IMG view. We're going to take care of layout, width, and height. Android layout width equal
Plus
100
X, is that plus XD?
CIP.
I do, thank you.
Android
I'll bring my glasses next time.
layout
It should start to blur together.
height equal 150 CIP. Android colon source equal
TIP too? It's not just DP?
at drawable.
I'm sure it'll tell me that.
Phase 4. I said I'm gonna pick only one of them, okay? Phase 4. Have two choices. Actually, specify it as a percentage, 20%, 10%, or specify it as a fixed number, 29, 30, 40, and so on, okay? Now, let's see what's happening. I said pivot is measured from here, okay? The left upper corner is 0, 0, okay? Now imagine you want to move down the pivot to here. Look at my fingers, okay? To here. X is still 0, but Y is gonna be what?
50.
50. So this is gonna be 0, that's gonna be what? 50. So you're gonna end up here. If you wanna set a pivot at center here, okay? So it's gonna be what?
X50.
X50, Y50, or wherever you want, okay? So you could, now you know what pivot is, okay? It's very important. It means the point that rotation is gonna take place around it, okay? Around it, okay? And could be represented as a percentage like that, or as a fixed number, okay? Okay, and we need duration. Rotate, okay, hold on. Android. Colon duration. Equal. And we close. By the way, for any of these attributes, we have the equivalent Java method that you could use to do it dynamically, right? So pivot could be changed in Java, so everything rotates like that in any way you like. It's really, really interesting, right? But I'm talking about XML that is kind of static, but you could do them dynamically if you want. Okay? So far, so good. Continue. I'm about deleting this part. Can I?
When we say duration, does that mean it'll go back to how it originally was after duration, or just?
No, no, you're gonna find out in a moment. Very good question. I haven't started talking about go back to original. It just, we have 3,000 milliseconds for rotation,
Okay, so that figure.
okay?
To do once.
That's like the
For this
speed.
way or that
Oh,
way.
wait, you already,
It's gonna like be the speed for you.
You have this much time for the rotation, okay?
Less time. is
What's
like
gonna
faster.
happen after rotation, you don't know, but you're gonna find out in a moment, okay?
don't you
So
have this?
what happens if you have two animations going simultaneously?
Just
Or
does it.
wait, so you start the alpha, starts dimming, but then at some point you put the rotation. What will happen then? Will it rotate only after alpha is completed, or will do that with alpha?
Well, you're gonna find out, this depends on how you're gonna put them in your Java code. Simultaneous doesn't really make sense, because you're gonna put them one after each other. So this gonna start, and after that, that's gonna start, after that, that's gonna start.
Oh, so it's,
Okay? But there is,
What about threads?
but there is a way that you could put them almost simultaneously. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to make very good question. Maybe you want to make an animation for engine gears. Engine gears. If you look at the engine of a car, we have two large gears. Okay, look like that. I'm not a good drawer, but it looks like. Let's say this is a big one. Okay, and there is another one, tiny one is on the top, okay? Whatever, okay, like that. So, they are normally engaging. So when this rotates, that should rotate too, following me? And this should be at the same time. So your application is gonna rotate this
At a
and
certain
rotate
speed
this,
and
right?
rotate at a different
At the
speed.
same time, okay? Of course, when you're rotating this clockwise, that is gonna rotate anti-clockwise, you know that, okay? Follow? But it looks very nice, but this it should be done at the same time, okay? And this is very nice, okay? Maybe I have a picture of it to show you. Good question. After I'm gonna continue that. Maybe, I'm not sure. In one of the books that I have, here, let's see if I can find something about this subject, animation. And let's see if we have this subject. I saw this is really nice about gear, okay? Let's see if I can find it here. And after we continue that. Okay. Animation. Let's see, what chapter is it? Animation. 491.
Pictures of buttons. Cool.
Animation listed 494. Okay.
So,
It has about animation of a pig
half icon.
head
With
and
the drawer.
but doesn't have anything but animation of this stuff. Oh yes, I got it. It's here. Good. So you got that.
Maybe I'll just make a blue robot.
See the gears?
Mm-hmm.
See the gears? Okay. Good animation. See the gears, guys? So this is possible that we do it by rotate animation like that. Okay? Okay. Let's continue. Sorry for my drawing is a bit not very bad.
Strengths line
Okay.
places.
Now we get into By the way, pivot 0, 0, it means upper left corner. You know that. Pivot 0, 0, it means x0, y0, it means upper left corner. Okay? So I just want to make sure that. Okay? So let's talk about scale XML. Scale.xml. Okay? Question mark
Afraid I'm not gonna be able to touch this for a week.
XML, whatever.
In fact, it'll be better off if I don't touch it for a week.
Scale
I'll try to catch up.
XML NS Android equal whatever. Pay attention to these attributes. Please Android colon from X scale.
Kid, the child read this stuff. A lot of kids.
Okay. What does the scaling do, by the way?
It's gonna
Changing the size.
change the size.
Increasing the size or decreasing, reducing the size. This means from this size
It's normal.
to maybe bigger or smaller, right? Okay. Android colon
Two
2
cells.
X scale equal 2 point. Okay. In this case, it means the y-axis of our shape is becoming double. See that? From, I'm sorry, x-axis. X-axis become double. It means from this became twice, okay? It would be any decimal number. You could put, for example, you could start from 2 and after that make it to 4. It means it's going to get 4 times bigger, okay? Following? So, 1 to 2, it means double. Actually, we are doing the same thing for y-axis as well. Let's go for it. Android colon from y scale equal 1. Android colon 2y scale equal. Okay? Okay. Now, the enlargement is done. But enlargement is done around what? You could say it could be around specific pivot, or only if you want only the nose, for example, get bigger, lips got smaller, eyes are getting bigger. So you have to specify where the pivot is, okay? So,
How much of the drawing to include?
Android colon pivot x equal 50%. We already discussed about pivot, so you know what it is. Okay, I'm not going to repeat it. Android colon
So it'll be the center of the screen.
pivot y equals
Absolute.
50%. And finally, duration of your animation. Android colon duration equal
And this was the easy way.
3000. Okay, and let's close our close. Now, so this is the scale. Okay, pretty small, pretty simple. Okay, and small. Okay, and now we discussed about scale, we discussed about alpha, rotate,
There, how does it actually attach?
and
For this first.
translate, okay? Yes, I'm gonna talk about translate in a moment for you. Okay.
I'll type
What
it
does translate mean?
Move something without
Move
changing its
from one
size.
location to another location, okay? Move from top to down, bottom to up, so let's make it. I'm gonna put it here. This is called the scale.
Training.
What I need to do, the reason I want to postpone the translate because when I go back to the subject of dynamic doing that, right? I need to get into translating again. So I don't want to give two lectures, actually repeat my lecture twice, okay? So I owe you translate because right now when I get into Java code, I need to talk about that subject again, okay? So I owe you the translate, right? So three XML files I have already given you. Scale, rotate, and alpha. Translate, I'm gonna give it to you in a moment, but I don't want to repeat my lecture for you guys, okay? Okay, so we discussed about that. Now, okay.
You know what you're doing.
What I want to do is, we have about 15 minutes ago. I want to show you how to scale down a view to half, okay? And after 3 seconds, bring it back to original size, okay?
Good.
We are scaling down to half, and after 3 seconds, we're gonna go back to the original size, okay? See how we could do that. Everything is done in XML, okay? Later on, I'll talk about Java, okay?
Oh,
Okay, and I think this is gonna be the last XML file I'm gonna write for you tonight because we are running out of time. So next week, I'm gonna continue talking about dynamic version of this stuff, right? And write a lot of Java code for you. So I need to clean the book, can I?
So next week will be more fun for me.
So, this XML file again is going to be placed in our RES anim, okay?
Looks like a lot of variable assigning.
Okay.
And this is all somehow attached to one image. Did it, the original layout file, is that what made it attached to the one
Question
image?
mark.
Like you told us there was 4 buttons.
XML.
Each button isn't buttons, but it's to run it on the image. Okay. I
XML.
don't have to worry about it until next week anyway.
NS.
Oh, it's an animation set.
Android. Whatever it is. Scale. I'm working on scale. See what's happening. So I want to make it big, and after that, go back to, okay? So we are talking about scaling up and down, right? So everything is scaled here. Okay, scale. Android, colon, from X scale. I'm going to write a bit faster with minimum explanation because we already discussed about that. Android colon 2x scale equal 2 Android colon from x, actually from y now, but I already gave x, from y scale equal Android colon 2 y scale equal 2. A pivot Android colon pivot x equal 50% and Android colon pivot y equal 50%, y 50%, and duration 3000 colon duration equal 3000. Okay, this is first set. What it does, expands, right? Now we're going to do the same thing for shrinking, right? Opposite of that. Let's do the opposite of it, and that's it. Okay. Scale. Android colon from x scale equal 1. Android colon 2 x scale equal 0.5. See that? This is very important, guys. This means I'm doubling that. Now here I say what? I'm making half. See that? Okay? Doubling that, making half. Pay attention to that, okay? Android colon from y from x scale, actually y scale, right? I made it
From
from y scale equal 1 and Android colon 2 y scale equal 0.5. You understand what I'm talking about, right? And pivot, you need to know the reduction should be around what pivot. So almost at the center. So we're going to do this. Say Android colon pivot x would be 50% and Android colon pivot y also 50%. Okay. And couple of more, which is very important. Pay attention to these to this one. Okay. Android colon start offset equal 3000 and Android colon duration equal 3000, close this guy and close that. Okay. Now, everything already discussed, except this stuff, right? Let's see what's happening. When you are reducing, okay, like that, you want to make a delay, and after that start what? So this is the delay time, okay? Follow me. Reduce, like that. If you do not do that, it's gonna right away, okay? So you want give a delay between
To figure out what you want.
reduction and enlargement, okay? So this is the delay that you're gonna put.
The offset, until it goes back to the beginning.
Yes, and duration, it means it's gonna take this much time to complete the process, right? So it takes this much time to complete the process of reduction, and this much time to complete the enlargement. But right after reduction, you wanna go back to to enlargement, you're gonna wait, right? And that is delay.
Is it obvious how these files apply to one of the pictures? There'll be an ID over there for what how this relates to the picture that it's controlling?
I don't understand what you're talking about.
How does this file relate to the how does it know which, if I had 3 pictures on the screen, is there an ID or something that it's
Well,
controlling?
I have not started writing Java code for that,
Okay,
okay?
oh, wait,
So this is half of the job.
Okay.
Normally your application is about half and half. Half XML code, half Java.
and how for it to tell
So
to get
when
tied
I
together?
write Java code, you're gonna find out
How it uses it.
I am gonna connect
Okay,
this file to the Java
Very
code.
good.
And Java code in this case is pretty small because almost everything is done in XML. But next time when I talk about dynamic part of tuning a job,
switch
you
the
see,
stuff out.
Java is carrying very heavy load in this case, very important part, okay?
All right.
So, guys, we are about finishing that. Janitor constantly come in, give a signal to leave. Guys, let me tell you what we're gonna cover next week, okay? Next time, we need to finish the subject of animation. Half of the subject is covered, the other half is left, okay? Which is a big job, okay? So, I'm gonna write the Java code for you next week and see how it's gonna work. And after that, also I'm gonna write the complete code for dynamic part of your, what?
Homework.
Exactly, homework. Some of you asked me to wait until next week, I will do that. So, that's it, okay? It's gonna be our
right.
job code